friends, and welcome to my brand new channel, Sink Me Out of Debt. My name is Chantal. To give a little bit of background into who I am, why I'm starting this channel, all of those kinds of things, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown. This is actually a channel that I had wanted to make back in January 2021, but 2021 has been harder for me in many ways than 2020 ever dreamed of being. I started off the year in a great headspace thinking this is gonna be my year. I'm gonna tackle everything. I'm gonna be out of debt by June 1st. Everything's gonna go my way, and then life happened. This year has been rough. And please do forgive background noises. I live on a very busy street, and unfortunately there's not much I can do about the noise going on in the background. I will try to cover it up with background noise, but we will see. This year has brought me having to go to the hospital. It has brought me a concussion. It has brought me falling down the stairs, having to euthanize and put down my 18-year-old beloved cat. It has brought me car issues. It has been a really difficult year. My dad has been in the hospital. I mean, it's just been awful. But I am starting today in July with the goal of no longer letting things get in my way and to tackle this once and for all. My overall goal is to be out of debt by the end of the year. I live at home, and while that comes with certain benefits such as not paying rent or paying a lot of the usual bills that people generally do, it also comes with a lot of cost to my mental, emotional well-being. This is difficult to talk about, but I am somebody who lives in an abusive situation. And while it is not physically abusive, it is extremely mentally, emotionally, and psychologically so. I have always wanted to get out of this situation, but it has been very difficult. For many years, I've put my own life to the side to help other people. But many things came in, such as the last 6 years of my grandmother's life, I helped caregive her. So a lot of finances, a lot of energy, hard work, and struggle went into taking care of her. She passed a few years ago, and I've struggled severely mentally ever since. I have depression, I have anxiety issues, I have a lot of the things that come along with somebody who has been born into and lived their lives in a situation that really tears you down. And I know I am not the only one with these struggles, which is why I'm being so candid and honest about them, despite the fact that it is very hard to do so. With a couple years of therapy under my belt now, a lot of changes to my life, I am done, absolutely done living like this. I want out. And the only way that I'm going to actually get out is if I put in the work to make it happen. So, my channel is generally inspired by one or two channels in particular that really caught my attention in January regarding cash envelopes and sinking fund processes in order to get out of debt and save up money. Hence the name Sink Me Out of Debt, sinking funds. But I'm also in a unique position that all of my banking is online. None of my banks have branches. And if I take money out, I am unable to put it back in. This is a situation that I also know that I'm not alone in. Many people these days resorted to online banking and they don't use local banks because sometimes you can find one bank that has better things for a checking account, then you can find another bank that has better interest rates for savings, and then you find another bank for this. And I mean, many people these days do online banking and they have multiple bank accounts at different banks for different reasons, you know? So I wanted to approach my channel in the method of using the same ideas and processes as sinking funds and cash envelopes without using actual cash envelopes. Now, I do have cash envelopes, ironically, and I want to demonstrate to you guys how to use them and what I'm doing with having a physical demonstration. Now, this is play money. This is not real money, so do not come for me. This is all... I bought this on Amazon specifically. It even says the motion picture... This is not legal tender, motion picture play money on it. But the reason why I have this is because I want to physically demonstrate to you what it is I'm doing with my paycheck and make it a visual representation, even if I'm not using the cash envelope system. So here I have my planner, which I have to reorganize. I write pretty much everything in pencil because I want to be able to erase it. I do have colored pencils somewhere that are like this with colored lead, but I haven't found them. I hopefully will by the time I'm recording the next video. But here's another unique problem that I have. You can easily buy these budget planners off Amazon. And as you can see, I have bought one. And actually, I've bought two. But I don't use things like this. I keep a running tally of my paychecks, my bills, all that kind of stuff in an Excel file on my computer. Because to me, as much as I love journals and as much as I love books, I always hate to write in them. Which kind of defeats the purpose of buying something like this. Plus, these pages where you keep accounting of all your expenses and everything, all of that is in my Excel file. Why am I going to use something like this for that? I will say, and I'm not going to show you this part because I have sensitive information on it. There is a part in the beginning of the journal where you write down specifically what your card information is, how much is due on it, the interest rate, the date that it's due, all of that kind of stuff. So it makes it very easy to keep track of, as well as a place to keep track of your payments and such. So you can tally how much you are spending down the debt. But since that book has sensitive information in it, I am going to show you how I'm doing that here. And I am going to be completely and totally above board. I went through all of my cards. I am of the generation that when I went to college, credit card companies would come to the college campus and advertise and encourage you to open credit cards and start racking up debt. And my generation, because I am older, I'm not old, but I'm older, I'm in my 30s, is one of the ones that this is also when college tuition started to get really bad. I'm an older millennial and all of that. And so a few of these credit cards are from when I was literally 18 years old. And over the years, between my depression, anxiety, real life, things happening, it got out of control. And while my debt is not high by comparison, I mean, I spoke to a financial planner not that long ago. She's like, you don't have that much debt. That would be easy to tackle. And I'm like, when you have mental health issues and you live in a situation where you haven't necessarily had the best representation of how to manage money, and you've had to learn as you've gotten older how to do that and how to do it responsibly, it hasn't been. So these are my current cards. Now, these are not all the cards that I have ever had. I have actually paid off 5 credit cards throughout the years as well. They have been paid off, they're closed, they're gone, all of that. Actually, it may be more than that. 6 credit cards. So as you can see, I used to have a number of them. Now, the other credit cards that I had and have paid off and closed, they were lower amounts, so it was easy for me to do. These have been my struggle ones, minus this one. This one I already had paid off once, but I have a dog, and actually you may sometimes hear her woofing in the background as I'm up here recording, because she comes up here to sleep while I am recording most of the time, and sometimes she will dream and sometimes she will start woofing in her sleep. But as much as I love her, when she gets stressed out, likes to attack and destroy clothes. So I had to repurchase some things. So that's why that one has a low balance, but this one will be paid off this month. So right now, let's see how much debt I currently have. And I looked up all of these before I started recording. So these are exactly what they are right now. Now, the reason why I said in my intro video almost $15,000 worth of debt, for whatever reason, my credit agency keeps saying that I have something around $14,000 in debt, which apparently I'm not. But I was going based off of that information. And it said I was like 14,800 around there. But just with my credit cards. Now, this one and this one have not done their interest because these were just recently paid. So these two will absolutely go up probably by the time I'm recording the next video. So as of today, this is my debt. $11,782.05. I get paid bi-weekly. And my take-home pay every time is the same. It's $1,596.88. I work a fairly decent job. I work in the healthcare industry. I am not a frontliner who works with patients, but I work in an industry that supports the frontline heroes. I work in a lab. I'm not going to say what type of lab right now, because if I did, it would be very easy to figure out where I work and that kind of thing, because my field is very rare. there's not many companies that do the work that I do. There's not many people who do the work that I do. If I even told you what I did and gave you my title, you would never have heard of this. So we'll just say I work in the healthcare industry. So this is my bi-weekly pay. Now it should be relatively easy to pay this off, and you would think, oh, she could have it done in 10 weeks, but that's not real life. I have other bills that come with it. I have apps that I pay for. I have car insurance. I have a number of other expenses beyond just my credit card debt. So while I may not pay rent, I may not pay for utilities or any of that kind of stuff right now, I do have other financial responsibilities, and I put money aside for emergencies, all of that kind of stuff. And my 3 bank accounts at 3 different banks are a checking account, which is where that goes into, and also my bills go out. Then I have a savings account, which a small portion goes into each paycheck. Now the third account that I just recently opened is also technically a checking account. But this account is solely going to be dedicated to expenditures. So what does expenditures mean? Well, I need to put gas in my car. Say I want to get food. Any of those little expenses that do add up to a certain amount of money. And my goal is to add money into this account from this as well, to isolate these expenses from my main checking account, which I want dedicated to paying bills. Now you may be wondering why I want to do that. For a couple of reasons. One thing that I've noticed over the years is sometimes you will make app purchases. Say you're playing a game or something of that nature. It's very easy to lose track of how much you're spending at times. Be it with games, be it you found a new app and you really want to try it out, so you download it, and you may not realize either that there's a fee attached to it, or you forget there's a fee attached to it. Any kind of things online where I may want to try something, but I'm not sure I want to keep it. You know, all of those kinds of things. We've all had those times where we sign up for a website or we sign up for something and it's supposed to cost a certain amount of money. A friend of mine who's also a fellow YouTuber recently found a site that she had been using for her channel, went from charging people $11 a month to $75 a month, and she didn't know it until they'd already taken the money out of her account. So a lot of these websites for services that charge things monthly, at times they will just randomly change their billing and change the amount that they charge without really giving you a really good heads up, because they want to just get their money. So anything that is going to be a sort of monthly fee or monthly charge that is not a bill is going to go on this card. so I can dedicate exactly how much money or my allowance I'm giving myself each paycheck to spend, and ensure that if anything happens, if any of these websites charge something or anything of that nature, it comes out of this allowance rather than out of my direct checking account. And this way I can ensure that this account stays dedicated solely to these and to bills like my car insurance and so forth, where I control the dollar. So this is going to be my form of a cash envelope system until such a time that I feel comfortable actually taking money out and putting cash aside for things. Now, I know I have said in my trailer video that this is a 10-month challenge for me to not only get out of debt, but save up money to move. I want to buy a house or get out of here, regardless of what that may look like. But after that time, I still plan on maintaining this channel and continuing these videos and bringing people along my journey of not only relocating and continuing these finances, but also showing how it evolves with time and changes that may occur and all of that. So I do hope that you will stick with me and you will enjoy my channel and enjoy seeing my process using an online cash envelope system, as it were, and seeing me tackle, challenge, and I'm manifesting this right now, succeed in getting rid of this debt and getting out of here once and for all. So, with all of that said, and until next time, thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you in the next video, and I will see you next time.